Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. Could two of China's brightest stars be holding the key to one of the most shocking mysteries in recent memory? Gao Taiyu and Yiren's testimonies are not just statements of defense. They are pieces of a puzzle that, when placed together, reveals secrets the public was never meant to see. Tonight, we dive deep into their words, their emotions, and the chilling overlaps that could change everything we thought we knew about the Menglong case. When the world first heard the announcement that Gao Taiyu and Yiren had been arrested in connection with the mysterious and tragic death of Menglong, a wave of disbelief rippled through fans and the entertainment industry alike. These were not anonymous figures lost in the shadows of the industry. They were household names, admired for their talent, their screen presence, and the sense of familiarity they carried into the lives of millions. The idea that such beloved individuals could suddenly stand at the center of an investigation surrounding a life lost in such a chilling manner seemed almost impossible to grasp. For many, it was a moment that blurred the line between fiction and reality, as though a drama had stepped off the television screen and unfolded in real life. Both Gao and Song responded swiftly, each presenting their innocence with an air of confidence that was both reassuring and unsettling. Gao pointed to his evening spent in a script reading session, supported by phone records, building security cameras, and detailed receipts that appeared to place him miles away from Menglong's final moments. Song, speaking separately, outlined her night at a private gathering with friends, carefully noting her departure time and the witnesses who could confirm it. On paper, these accounts looked flawless, the kind of airtight narratives that seemed designed to silence doubt and restore faith in their innocence. Fans who had been on edge felt a brief moment of relief, clinging to the hope that their idols were being unfairly dragged into a storm they did not deserve. Yet beneath the surface, there was an undeniable tension. The very perfection of their stories, the neatness of the evidence they presented, stirred unease in the minds of investigators and the public. Life is rarely so tidy, and human memory under stress is rarely so precise. Was this the natural composure of innocent people determined to clear their names, or was it the careful choreography of testimonies rehearsed and refined? As these questions lingered, the sense of disbelief deepened into something more complicated. A mix of suspicion, sorrow, and the dawning recognition that this case was not going to be resolved by simple answers. What began as a tragedy had transformed into a riddle, and at its heart stood two figures whose words carried the weight of both reassurance and uncertainty. Investigators soon discovered that the most compelling elements of this case did not lie in the obvious evidence presented, but in the subtle intersections of Gao Taiyu and Yiren's testimonies. Their stories, while delivered separately, seemed to echo each other in ways that could not be ignored. Both described passing through the same restricted corridor in the studio complex on the night of Menglong's final hours, a detail they each dismissed as routine. Yet to investigators, this overlap was far from ordinary. In criminal cases, it is these small points of convergence that often reveal what witnesses or suspects might be unconsciously concealing. It was not the grand gestures of innocence that unsettled experts, but the quiet, almost hidden parallels that painted a darker possibility. Their digital footprints only added to the unease. Messages recovered from their devices revealed patterns of emotion directed at Menglong: frustration at his rising success, envy of his growing influence, and at times, a sense of resentment. While anyone under the pressure of celebrity might vent in private, the timing and similarity of these sentiments between Gao and Song raised troubling questions. Was it coincidence that both had expressed such thoughts in the days leading up to the tragedy, or did it reveal a deeper undercurrent of connection, perhaps even a shared vulnerability or motive? Psychologists brought in to analyze the interrogations were equally struck by the way the two stars spoke. Under intense scrutiny, most individuals falter, stumble, or contradict themselves. But Gao's voice remained measured, deliberate, and composed, while Song's account carried the same calm precision. The consistency of their delivery suggested more than confidence. It hinted at a synchronization that felt unnatural under the weight of such accusations. Experts wondered if this was the behavior of two innocent people desperately clinging to truth, or the careful rehearsal of narratives designed to withstand every possible challenge. To the public, these discoveries opened a new dimension of fear and fascination. Suddenly, their idols' testimonies were no longer simply about clearing their names. They had become fragments of a puzzle that might expose a hidden web of rivalry, betrayal, or even conspiracy. Every overlap, every phrase, every shared movement through the night was dissected by both investigators and millions online. What emerged was not clarity, but an increasingly complex portrait of two stars bound together by fate, secrets, and the haunting shadow of Menglong's untimely death. For the millions who followed Menglong's career, the revelations surrounding Gao Taiyu and Yiren were more than just headlines. They were wounds that cut into the heart of admiration and trust. Fans who had once celebrated these actors for their talent and charisma suddenly found themselves staring at testimonies that carried the weight of contradiction and suspicion. The emotional toll was immediate. For some, disbelief gave way to grief, as they mourned not only Menglong's tragic passing, but also the collapse of the carefully built images of their idols. Others clung to hope, desperately insisting that the truth would clear their names, that the people they had admired for years could not possibly be complicit in something so devastating. In this clash of perspectives, social media became a mirror of human emotion. Threads filled with sorrow, anger, denial, and an unrelenting search for answers. The family of Menglong, already burdened with an unbearable loss, found themselves caught in the whirlwind of public speculation. Each new detail in the investigation reopened their grief, transforming private mourning into a public struggle for justice. Their calls for truth carried a raw pain that resonated across borders, reminding the world that behind the spectacle of celebrity lies the unyielding reality of human suffering. It was this deeply personal dimension that added urgency to the case, because every unanswered question about testimonies and timelines was not just a matter of legal procedure, but a matter of dignity for a grieving family. Among ordinary people, the emotions stirred by this case spoke to something larger than the incident itself. It touched on the fragility of trust, the way admiration for public figures can dissolve in an instant, and how fame, which seems so radiant from the outside, can conceal storms of rivalry and vulnerability within. For many, the case became a reflection of their own anxieties about truth and deception, about how much of what we see in the spotlight is genuine and how much is carefully constructed illusion. As days passed, the feelings of shock and confusion gave way to a more haunting question. How does one reconcile the love for a star with the possibility of their shadowed involvement in tragedy? This was not merely a story of crime and investigation. It became a story of broken hearts, shaken faith, and the unsettling confrontation with the complexity of human nature. But here's something new investigators are quietly considering: unseen influences. Could Gao and Song's testimonies suggest they were not the masterminds, but caught in a web spun by someone else within the industry? Industry pressure. Their references to stress, competition, and envy shed light on the darker side of celebrity life, where success can breed resentment and manipulation. Human vulnerability. At its core, this is not only about crime and justice. It's about people under immense pressure, forced to balance fame with fear, and now trapped in a storm that could redefine their futures. The question remains: are Gao Taiyu and Yiren victims of cruel coincidence, or are we witnessing the careful orchestration of a hidden conspiracy? Each word, each gesture, and each overlap in their stories may hold the truth, and the world is watching closely. If this story left you with more questions than answers, you're not alone. The Menglong case is far from over, and every new detail could change the outcome. Stay with us here on Update X24H as we continue to uncover the facts, the emotions, and the secrets hidden behind the glitter of stardom. Don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and remember, we're here to bring you the truth, no matter how deeply it's hidden.